Hey, I'm William G. Austin. I'm a retired professor of exercise science, and I'd like to tell you about my new book. The title is 4 Keys to the Natural Anabolic State, and it reveals an amazing thread of data about human performance. Data that I had taught stress management, all aspects of stress and anxiety for 40 years, but I'd never run across this thread of data that actually, when I read it, it changed my life. I set out to write the book after finding this data, which is out there. It's been replicated, it's undoubtable, but nobody's ever put it together, connected the dots. If you're an athlete at any sport, a student at any level, or anyone seeking a competitive edge, folks, you must read this book. When you think about anabolic, you probably think steroid drugs. Unfortunately, steroid drugs, they can be effective at muscle growth, as we all know. They can help an athlete play better, which is partly why they're illegal. And they're also unhealthy, they're dangerous, they're illegal, and frankly, they're stupid. You do not want to go that route. So this book explains how certain mindsets, thoughts, habits, and character traits can lead to the natural anabolic state. And the anabolic state is a biochemical condition when the body burns fat, builds muscle, increased in strength and speed and mental acuity. Performance is greatly enhanced. And you all knew of that about steroid drugs, that those things could help your performance, but as I said, they have such a bad downside to them. This book is not about that. This book is about gaining the anabolic state in a totally healthy way, and your body will be healthier as a lifetime as a result, much less higher performing. Let me ask you a few questions that you would find out the answer to in the book. Did you know that a single thought can alter the blood chemistry of students taking the GRE and improve performance? Did you know that this has been replicated in hundreds of studies and it's undoubtedly true? Did you know that the same thought also improved athletic performance and is shown to improve it in any sport? It's powerful research that has been out there for years and nobody has put it together. Did you know that basketball players are 32% more likely to make the foul shot to win the game than the foul shot which, if missed, would lose the game? Why would that make a difference? What is the thought process that causes that to make a difference? The same thing is true of soccer players who are shooting a penalty shot in soccer. They are 32% more likely to make the shot which will win the game than the shot which, if missed, would lose the game. That shows that their mindset is different when they fear losing. And that's part of the key to the anabolic state that we're going to talk about in the book. Another little thing you might not realize. Did you know that the athlete on the field who is most intensely focused on avoiding an error is the one most likely to make an error? Would you like to know why? This is in the book, folks. This book is cutting edge science. It is extremely scientific and well documented. But it's written in everyday language, and it's filled with personal accounts, colorful characters. You will enjoy it. It's a fun read. It's a very fun read, but I will tell you that it is profound. And when you read it, I want you to think about what you're reading. And if you read it and pay attention and think, your whole life will be changed. You will understand how you need to approach a play in baseball or football or basketball, how you need to, with the mindset you need to have. It will help you instantly. In this book, you will meet Jenny, the girl who achieved a seemingly impossible goal. Jenny was one of my students. She came to me. I was at Erskine College. She was a little overweight. She was having trouble getting dates, quite frankly, and a sweet girl, a beautiful face, but, you know, and she'd never done a lick of exercise in her life. And she said, Dr. A, I need help. I've got to become fit. I've got a goal. She's a very intelligent girl. In fact, she was one of the top students at school. She did not major in my courses. She majored in political science. But she had been in my health class and my exercise class, and she came to me and asked for help. And the story is really amazing. And I listened to her and I talked to her. And I told her, I said, Jenny, if you're going to achieve this goal, you've got to lift weights. And she said, I was afraid of that. She said, I hate that. I know I'm going to hate it. I said, you're going to despise it. But if you want to be successful, you have to lift. And so she did. And long story short, she had an amazing success. It was 5 years. She started working with me her senior year last semester. And she set her goals, and she started from there, and she went for that goal. And she achieved it beyond all belief. And when she came back 5 years later, I honestly didn't recognize her. So I'll tell you that story. You'll love it. I'll also tell you about John. He's the guy who experienced 5 types of stress before leaving home. It's kind of funny, but it's true. All right, and I'll tell you about Hank. This is another true story. Hank was an infielder, one of the best I've ever seen in high school, and rarely made an error, but he had a game in which he made 3 errors in a row. I mean, three balls off the bat in a row, he made errors, and it was the worst nightmare. And I talked to him, I observed him, and he told me, I found out what his mindset was, and it was a disastrous mindset. And I'll tell you about that disastrous mindset that you must never have when you're playing a sport or when you're getting ready to take a test. It's absolutely a disaster. I'll also tell you about a guy named William, who as a rookie coach, was asked by the athletic director to coach women's volleyball. And this coach was me. All right, so I'm telling you a personal story. I had played basketball, football, and track in high school, but I never played volleyball. But I played a couple of summers in volleyball. And he said, you're the only one in college. He said, my volleyball coach has quit. He said, we got a season starting and you're the only one out here that's played any. I said, I've learned 2 seasons of recreational volleyball doesn't qualify me to coach. And he said, well, I know that, but I've got to have you, you got to help. So he begged, and I finally agreed to coach for 1 year. Had a very successful year, believe it or not, but one game, I'll tell you how, because I was young, I was a rookie coach, I didn't know half what I know now about these things. And I made a crucial mistake, and one word spoken during the game. We had a big lead. We were playing against the top team in the conference. We had a big lead, and one comment that one of my players made got in the minds of the rest of those players, and we blew a huge lead. And I'll tell you how it happened, and looking back on it, I realized years later what had happened. But anyway, you'll enjoy that story as well. So there's a lot in this that you're going to really enjoy. I'll also tell you about Susie, the most aggressive shortstop I've ever seen. Amazing player. And I'll tell you about her mindset and why she was so successful. I'll tell you about Irina Sandler. This is a hero from World War II that you may have read about. Saved millions of hundreds of thousands of Jewish children from persecution by the Nazis. And a wonderful hero. And I'll tell you how she proved that honesty is about more than just telling the truth. I'll also tell you about Attila the Hun, and you'll enjoy that. I used to tell this story in my health classes about Attila the Hun. He had I'm sure you realize he was a tremendous military leader, had vast success, brutal. I mean, killed millions of people. So you might wonder why I would write about Attila the Hun. But Attila had one very positive trait which made him an effective leader. And I'll tell you about that trait, and I explain why that particular trait is very crucial to maintaining an anabolic state throughout life. And that's one of the secrets that you'll find in this book. You'll also come to understand how mindset, thought processes, habits, and personality traits will influence your body chemistry and determine how well you will perform and how healthy you will be. I'll tell you about each of those. You're going to have a picture of exactly what you need to do to become a better athlete, a better student. If you're in business, you're a competitor, if you want a competitive edge, this is a book for you. You will find the book on Amazon. I suggest you just go to Amazon and key in 4 keys to the Natural Anabolic State. It'll take you right to the book's website where you can read reviews about the book. And those will tell you a lot. But folks, you need to read this book. And if you do, it will change your life. I can promise you that. And in fact, I'll tell you one thing else. By the time you finish the 3rd chapter, you're going to wish very sincerely that you had read it sooner. And I'll leave you with that. And thank you for listening. And go buy this book. Bye.